Hey everyone, again, update video. I've got a few finished commissions over here. I've been very hard at work this past week. I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got four commissions in the works or completed right now. I've sent out a bunch of stuff this week because I worked a little bit with a friend of mine last week, so I made some money, so I shipped out a whole bunch of stuff. Wicket and RC Porter, the Doomsayer guy, you should be getting yours very, very soon. As in, like, maybe tomorrow. So, first things first, this video is going to be mainly on the stuff that I have completed for Foam Killer 28 on Nerf Revolution and Nerf Haven. He commissioned me to build him an airtech 4000 and a snap bow. So, I guess we'll start with the airtech 4000. So, this is the airtech 4000 I've done. It's very nice. I've still got to put the gauge in. I left the original gauge with the red goo in it, or the mineral oil, which is what it actually is. I've painted everything in a similar theme. It all looks very, very nice. The paint is done great. Actually, let me wipe some dust off of it real quick. It's been sitting over here in my shop. But overall, paint job is very nice. 12 shots of mayhem. These little pieces aren't attached yet, but next time when I open the blaster, before I send it out, to make sure everything's got a good final coat of lube and a couple little parts inside, I'm gonna black out so you can't see them. But other than that, it is complete, which I'm very, very happy about. I'm gonna cut to a video right here of it firing, and then I'm gonna go over all the main features. Now we're going to get to the shooting. From where I'm standing is about 6-7 feet from my door, and from my door to the fence is about 100 feet. Now you see that little dip out there where it goes up? Pretty much if I can nail the center of that dip every single time, that's going 100. If I hit it almost dead level with where I'm shooting, then it's shooting well over 100. I've test fired this a few times, and it has been consistently shooting at least 110, 120. There's been a lot of different mods to achieve that, including some dangerous ones to the tank that I'll reveal. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and shoot it. It takes 5 pumps on a full mag strike pump, full length. It's got, I don't know if you can see this, it's got 3 open rear loading slots at any one time. And here we go. We're just going to start shooting now. I'm going to fire off all 12 rounds of the turret. And we'll see how it goes after that. Let's get over here so you guys can see. Now bear in mind the inconsistency of slugs. Whirly bird there. Pop that one a little high. There's the target hit. I wanted to finish. Oh, I've got one left. 12 shots is a lot of shots. That was a good solid hit. The main determining factor for range on this blaster is how fast you pull the trigger. Of course, let's see, let me show you. Here you can hear when I slowly pull it, it goes. Listen to how it sounds when I quick pull it. It's much more power. Basically, you want to dump all the power as quickly as you can into the barrel. I use my middle finger to pull, since my middle finger is a little stronger than my trigger finger. Alright, as you can see, it does very well range-wise. I would guess well over 100. I would say 110 easily. Out of a 12-shot, you know, bringer of doom. It's like the Doomsayer's airgun brother. But, I'm pretty tired, so sorry if I'm a little slow tonight. But what I had to do to achieve those ranges was actually kind of dangerous. I took the stock airtech 4000 tank, and I took the outlet, which is normally a really small 1/4 inch opening, and actually took an X-Acto blade and I widened that opening out. It took me about an hour to do, if not more, all by hand, to 3/8. So it's equivalent to about a 3Ks output valve now, but with slightly more volume. That was really difficult to do, and I wouldn't suggest it to the average person unless you're real comfortable with your blade skills. But it scared me a little bit doing that. So that's why it hits so well. Before that, it was only getting like maybe 100, even with the cam. Now it does 105, 110, you know, maybe 115 without the cam. I couldn't keep the cam because when I increased the diameter of the opening, it increased the pressure required to open the valve. So I couldn't get a spring strong enough in here on the cam and still keep a semi-reasonable trigger pull. So I just, you know, did the hot glue mod on the trigger pull like I do with most 3Ks. Main trick to this blaster is you have to pull the trigger fast, just like a 3K. So, you know, you pull it really slow, you get it. You pull it really fast, you get a nice little pop where it dumps all the air in the barrel. It took me, there was a really green paint job on this that I just did not like, and it flaked off really easy. It took me a solid 3 weeks of on and off sanding. My girlfriend took it home for 2 weeks and was sanding on it for 2 weeks. Went from 80 grit all the way up to 320, then I polished it up with a 400 grit before I laid down a black base coat. So there's a lot of time in this blaster alone. That's one of the reasons why it took me so long, is the paint took forever. It was terrible. But I'm very happy and pleased with the end result. It's a very, very cool blaster. I liked how I kept all the stock parts the stock color. Of course, this was all discussed with Foam Killer. It's got brass stubs in the barrels, a seal that's made up of 3 rubber washers and a piece of foam, and it seals absolutely great. Full-length mag strike pump, goes all the way in, all the way out, and it has only a little tiny bit of gap, so it's real smooth and streamlined. I made the barrel spacer, and it actually turned out pretty good. There's one small melt spot up here, but this barrel spacer took me a solid hour to make, if not more. Before I ship it out, I'm going to take it off and give it a final sanding all over, so it'll be really cool. But it turned out nice. You know. Another thing with this blaster is whenever you rotate the turret, you rotate it one click, then you rotate it back, because that'll perfectly seal it over the output. Just a little slight flick backwards. That's how most 4Ks and most 3Ks are. You give them a slight little flick back to the right so it locks the cam mech, or the rotation mech rather. So you see, there's that. I cut out the front of the barrel spacer to reduce weight. It didn't need one in the back because where your hand is going to be to rotate, it's going to be pretty much on the stock turret most of the time. I usually like to put 2 on there, but then it would get in the way of the pump, which, as you can see, has very little clearance already. There's extra tubing in the back, so you're basically getting about 4.5 pumps of power. The last tank I had, this blaster's been through 2 tanks. The first tank was irreparable. I put 5 pumps into it with longer tubing, and the back of the tank literally was bowing out like it was going to explode. So I destroyed that tank. I did not even want anything to do with that. So I got another one. I had to trade some of my personal stuff, some of my personal blasters, to get that tank, and Foam Killer did reimburse me for it. So thank you very much for that. But Mithril Silver, Black, Patriotic Blue from Krylon Fusion under a black base coat, a airtech 4000, 12 shot, 100+ foot, with slugs, mind you, foam slinger. I like it a lot, and I hope you guys do too. This part's been a little long. I apologize for that, and I'm going to move on next to my snap that I built for him. So since it took so long, that blaster's been in my hands for about 4 or 5 months. I decided I was going to give him a discount on a blaster that he had wanted for a while, and that blaster was a Snapbo MK5 with a breech. I gave him a decent discount on this. Actually, I took off quite a lot of money off of this for him, simply because I felt bad because it took me so long due to all the complications. But it's a very nice one. This is one of my nicest breeches I've ever made. I mean, it's like no effort here at all. And it makes a nice healthy click click whenever it gets in place, which I really like. Rainbow pump handle. Everything's mechanically fastened, minus the foregrip, which is normally not ever mechanically fastened by anyone. It's held on by super glue, then a coat of plastic welder, PVC cement, and then a nice bead of really high temp hot glue. The stock, actually, I've drilled a couple holes. This back piece is actually held in with 2 screws in the back. You know, nice stock, real solid. Handles held on mechanically. Screws to the top, screws holding in the plunger tube. Air vent. I drew some vent. I drilled some vents in the back as well. A nice clothespin trigger with the handle actually acting as the pull limit, so you can't like physically like pull the clothespin out of the hole while you're firing it. So that really helps a lot, by the way, because a lot of people when they build snaps, they let the trigger have too much extension, and then you pull it and then the trigger comes all the way out of the hole completely. But this is very nice. This is JB Weld. The clothespin's mechanically fastened. This is mechanically fastened. This is mechanically fastened. The plunger head's my standard plunger head, which of course you guys all know I make very well, and it gets an incredible seal like always. The breech has a perfect seal. It's a very nice breech. It's one of my favorites. It's a 14-inch breech, which is plenty long. For my darts anyway, which will be his darts then. Let me grab a dart and actually fire it for you across the room so you can hear it. So of course you pull back, you open the breech, which pops right open, no problem. You load said dart forward, you load said breech back, and you fire. And it shoots well over 100, which most snap bows do. So well over 100 easily. It nails the middle of my hill out there. So I'm pretty happy with that. A little tight. I still got to sand the back of this a little bit to go in the coupler. It's actually got a built-in dart stop, so that's kind of cool. Standard snap bow, mechanically fastened. Of course I make. Oh, now I sound like a dick, but I make really excellent snap bows. 2 set screws inside, 1 top and bottom, because I feel it helps hold it in there better. But the set screws on the side look nice. Not much else to say. It shoots hard like a snap bow should, and you know, I've built probably over 20 of these, so, and they've all held up very well. So that's nice. That's done. Breech is done, and that should be out to you very, very soon. I'm actually going to try to package this up today and try to ship it out maybe tomorrow. So, and now for a little kind of update on some other stuff on what commissions I'm going to have going on very soon. I've got a pump action shotgun from Graydon, Cochrane. Bobololo handed this off to me. I'm going to be doing a complete paint job on it. I gave him a pretty good deal because I know he's a viewer of mine, and he didn't want a super complicated job. It's going to have some nice lettering on it. It's going to be black and red, similar to my pump action shotgun. Let me actually show you guys my pump action shotgun, just so you can get an idea. This is my pump action shotgun. It's going to be kind of similar to this, except the red's going to be brighter, and it's going to have lettering on it. But yeah, that just gives you an idea. There will be a video on this later, because I love this blaster a lot, and I've never actually showed it to you guys. Next we got, I've got 2 part. Well, here, let me show you guys this first. This is a rainbow pistol plunger tube. Of course, the rainbow pistol was an original design by me, although it's probably not original at all. It's basically just taking a pullback rainbow and making it really short, so that it gets 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 inches of draw on a K25. But I've been practicing with the scroll saw, and it's got, you know, I make really nice rainbow catches, and there's a little nub bit. Of course, that goes inside there, and there's the plunger tube. I've got the parts on the ceiling hanging. The wood parts anyway, the handle and the trigger and the little trigger block. I've actually stained those and sealed them with polyurethane, and then I went over them with some, what is that stuff, Mod Podge, and then I'm going to seal them with an acrylic sealer. I burned my name into the bottom of each one. I'm thinking I'm probably going to burn a number on each one from now on, because they're really cool little blasters. I've actually got the one that's completed here, which is likely going to be mine, since it's of lower caliber than the other ones that I built. The other ones I built have a slightly longer handle, and some other little tiny things changed, nothing real major. But as you guys know, Rainbow Pistol, K25, Rainbow Catch, really nice blaster. You know, you guys have all seen this before. Seals perfect. The fun thing about these is they vacuum load. So like there's a push fit dart in CPVC. You go like this. It'll load it right in the plunger tube. I don't feel like installing a dart stop is necessary, because you can just tilt your blaster forward and it'll load it right there and shoots at 85 feet every time. 85 feet out of a pistol with this much draw, which is about equivalent to a night finder, is pretty insane, and I love it. I love it a lot. I love this design I've come up with. I think in the next iteration I'm going to make the plunger tube a tiny hair longer, so that I can get maybe at a ½ an inch more draw. But these things hit considerable 85s every time, so I don't even know if it needs it. Let me grab a night finder to compare it to for you guys. Ooh, almost fell. So as you can see, profile very similar to knife finder. It's only slightly longer. So there's that. Bubba Lolo handed me his Tornado X2 that he got, and this is going to be getting, you know, the overhaul, full internals and everything. I know the video is getting long. I had a lot of stuff to show you. Nom lesson ideas, I could use a couple. So if you have an idea for nom lessons, please post them in the link below. A couple I'm thinking about are blasters being painted black. Other ones I'm not completely sure on. So if you got something in the Nerf community that particularly annoys you, please post it down, and we'll try to see what we can do with it. I think that's it for tonight, guys. I will make another video soon. The next nom lesson should be out in a week or two, later in the week. I love you guys. Thanks for all the support. I've actually just crossed over 850 subscribers. As you guys know, there will be a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. I'm not totally sure what I'm giving away yet. It'll be something moderate level. I'm not going to give away a pump snap because I can't afford to do that. But I'll give away something moderate and very nice. I'll do a very good job on it, I promise. But any questions, comments, rants, go ahead and post down below. If you guys like my channel, please subscribe, favorite, like, share it. I'm pleading. I'm not pleading. But I love you guys. I will talk to you another day. Have a nice day, night, evening, morning, wherever you're at.